Hello, in this review and pseudo demo of VIDGEOS, I really want to cut to the chase and really help you decide whether or not it's of value to you. So what I want to focus on right away is its primary or its top value added thing, and something that really it does and there's no other game in town, and that's this translation feature. So let's just get oriented real quick. You've got the elements over here. These are the things that you can drag onto the stage, and if you look, let's break this down. You got animated text and text, image, shape, and icons. So really you have images and text. And that's it. You cannot import video, do whiteboard videos, anything like that. So that's something to really help you to understand, because this is really a player. So down here you start to see some really valuable stuff. The ability to add a mail form, for example, built into your video. So of course you need the player in order for it to do that communication between the video and the autoresponder. So the player is required. It's got buttons and countdowns for scarcity and so forth. But where it really stands out from anyone else is these smart objects here, the ability to put time, date, city, and country, but most importantly, it's the translations. So over here in this, you see this project, it's kind of a settings feature here, and right here you can see another indication that this is a player, these various controls. But down here, I got translations. I can have it off. I can have a button which allows them to select it, which might be better for like local markets, and an automatic feature. So the automatic feature would basically, you see the text here, so you check the time. Now, what would happen is if I created this video, of course, for the U.S. domestic English market, it's got English. And so it would, if you're viewing this in Rome, Italy, for example, it's going to show this in Italian. It would open up to a broader market. So right away, one of the things that just would sit down, it can help you whether or not you want to even watch more of this video. You need to ask yourself, would your products or services benefit from an expanded worldwide market? If you have a local market thing, for example, maybe real estate, the question is, do you have, like in Texas, we have a strong Hispanic, Mexican, otherwise Spanish speaking community. So, it might help for me to have a bunch of Spanish videos or the alternate. But in this case, this is going to recognize that they're in America. So I would have to put it on, let them choose, so they can choose whether or not they want to see it in Spanish, and they would have to even know to do that. So that might be something you'd have to put in there, maybe in Spanish below it, click on the button to see this in Spanish or something like that. It does, though, otherwise it can be automated. Now, Josh Rada said in one of his videos that they're adding the ability for you to put in translations automatically. So you could say, see this in Spanish. Now, let me just tell you that the reason why I see this valuable is my products are digital, and therefore they are, can definitely benefit from a worldwide market. So, and when I've actually seen it firsthand, we used to have a game company called Games in a Flash. I noticed after about 5 years that I was getting sales from like Germany and France and so forth, but I'd never really kind of toddled it up until one year I did. I looked and I saw that it was about 30%, and I happened to know that 30% was about the number of increased sales that I had needed to grow the business. And that made me really pay attention to the global market after that. And so I tried to make sure my games were easier to translate and easier to utilize in the broader market. Now, that doesn't necessarily apply in this case, but the translation thing, actually, I can give you a little tip here. If you are going to leverage this, one of the things that you need to really be careful about if you want to use this automatic feature is to make sure that you don't use idioms or wordplay or puns, because those things do not translate very well. A guideline for using a feature like this is, if you can imagine that it's in like an English to Spanish dictionary or an English to Italian dictionary, then it's safe. But you need to avoid things that, probably not in there, idioms, again, puns, and so forth. So if you can keep it very plain spoken, then these things work very well. What I recommend actually is that you not use this as your plain thing, but actually have it as an alternate. What I plan to do is I plan to have a script written that will automatically recognize if they're somewhere else, just like they're doing here. You check to see whether or not they are in a different country, and then serve up a different version of the game. In this case, serve up the video that is made by VIDGEOS that has the automatic translation. Another excellent use for this would be like how-to videos. Like in my case, we have a lot of tutorials and so forth, and so it would be great to create some videos where there's like a, I maybe do them all in English, but are you not in, in America or an English speaking country, click here for others. And you have these in automatically translated to whatever, nationality they are, whatever language that they're speaking. So in my view, that is really where the strength of this lies. I think that the things like the mail form and the interactive elements, those are very valuable, and those have been shown to increase conversions. If you feel like you can leverage that also, that's great. And very quickly, I'm going to click on this and show you it's context sensitive, very well made. The only animations that you have are those built in, but there is some very good ones. In fact, it's very similar to our Easy Animator program. There's a ton of different animations here, but what you really need to understand is a lot of them are just variations of the same one, just from different directions. So slide left, slide right, slide up, slide down. And once you realize that, there's not quite as many, but I don't want to sell it short. There's actually some really quite good stuff here. I like, for example, this. There's one called Fabulous here. I'm not going to take too long to find it. There it is. And you can see here, I think it is a fabulous animation. So look, there's a lot of possibilities of animation and video making here, but it needs to work within the player. Now, a tangential or slight thing you could do is, if you wanted to use some of these elements in a bigger video with footage, you could, of course, do a screen grab and then cut it up with Camtasia or ScreenFlow and so forth. But I don't really see that as the main value here. The question is whether or not you would benefit from a 20 to 30% bump if you had automatic translations. And if you can answer yes, then I think VIDGEOS is potentially for you. So real quick, I want to tell you what our bonus is. This is our premium video elements, a product that we're coming out with later this month. And we've got a bunch of different layouts here. All of these are in our Power Vector format, which means that you can use Easy Vector Editor to mix and match these and then use them with VIDGEOS and any other program pretty much out there. Now we have a version 1.3 coming out, which will export to transparent PNG. That's in a few days, and so forth. So that's and we're also including all of our Power Vectors from powervector.com as a bonus. And that's really if you get any front-end offer of VIDGEOS, whether it's monthly, annual, or lifetime. Now, if you get the pro level, that's the second OTO, I will also throw in a lifetime upgrade membership of Easy Animator as well. So really, again, this is about translations, in my opinion. You can disagree with me, but in my view, the way to get the value out of this is really to leverage the value of opening up your product line to a worldwide market. If you can see yourself doing that, then I do recommend VIDGEOS.